Hey, hello, and welcome back. I am Debbie Peterson of Getting to Clarity, and this is another episode of the Getting to Clarity Show. This is the place where busy leaders come to get the tips, tools, and techniques that they need to create more success in their leadership with less sacrifice to themselves in their life. And today we're talking about the self-aware leader and how authenticity drives success in your career. So if you've ever wondered, how does authenticity fit into your career, in your financial services industry career, or any industry, really, then stick around, because today we're going to dive a little deeper, because there is a weight to leadership. So we have a lot of responsibilities, and especially as emerging leaders, we have meetings, we have deadlines, we have projects, we have responsibilities, and we have responsibilities personally and professionally. So we're getting it from both sides. What I want you to know is that you in your role, you're not just ticking off a list. You're not just ticking off tasks. You and what you do are shaping futures. It is shaping your future. It is shaping your clients' or customers' future. It is impacting and shaping your organization's future. And authenticity is a critical element of all of this. So there's something that I have been delving into, and I identified it as the great disconnect, because it seems like as professionals, we've gone through these different phases the past few years. So during the pandemic, we had the great resignation, and people were just leaving their jobs in droves. Peace out, I'm done. I'm going to go do something else. I'm going to find something that's meaningful for me. I saw that a lot. So, that was the beginning of that disconnect. Everybody's leaving their jobs. And then we had the great retention, right? And organizations are just trying to keep the people that they have and to get new hires to show up for the job interview. And now, when we're kind of going back, the work from home is the return to office, it feels like we are in this period of disconnection. And so I have labeled it the great disconnect, because it feels like as a society, we are separating when in fact we really need to be coming together to solve the issues that we face. And that is no more apparent than in business, but it goes elsewhere. I mean, when you think of politics and the planet, there's a great deal of disconnection. And if you are feeling somewhat disconnected, you're not alone. But let me tell you that authenticity is the bridge. It is the bridge back to connection. And it is more critical now than it ever has been. And it starts with you. So when I consider the great disconnect, there are three elements to it. There is disconnection with yourself. You don't really understand who you are, which creates a very fractured foundation for leadership. If you don't know who you are, then how can you connect with others? And if you don't know who you are and you don't connect authentically with others, then how does that fit into the organization? How do you connect with the organization? So when I say it starts with you, it starts with you. But there are some roadblocks. I mean, when it comes to pursuing and understanding who you are and having a more authentic leadership, there are mindsets and habits that are running in the background we may not even be aware of. For instance, I'll take time to be introspective or deal with this when I've already achieved what I want. But the thing is, sometimes we are pursuing success and we haven't bothered to define it, which means that we are chasing a whole lot of things, not the right things. Another mindset that hinders us is perfectionism. We all know perfectionism doesn't exist, and yet sometimes we fall into that trap, and repeatedly. Another thing that can hold us back is fear of vulnerability. We don't want to appear vulnerable because we mistakenly think that vulnerability is showing weakness. And if you have read or delved into any of Brene Brown's work, you will understand that's not the case. So if you haven't read it, put one of her books on your reading list or your Audible list and go from there. And then the other thing that trap that we fall into is seeking external validation, so that we are putting more weight on other people's opinions outside of us instead of our own wisdom. Now, the good news is, yes, they're roadblocks and they're just challenges waiting to be conquered. And you have the resources to be able to conquer them. And recognizing them is the very first step to your authentic leadership. So the power of self-connection, let's explore that a little bit and why it is so crucial for effective leadership in any organization and the organization's success. So connecting with your authentic self, it isn't just good for you, it's good for business. And let's explain how that can happen. So there are 5 strategies that I want to share with you today. And let's go through them one at a time. So strategy number 1, very key, always the starting point, self-reflection. Self-reflection means that you are doing, it's not a one and done, the work to understand who you are, what your values are, your life values, your professional values, your personal values, because we are one person, it all weaves together. So understanding who you are, what you stand for, what your beliefs are, even those that may be limiting you. So that self-reflection is a practice, even if it's 5 minutes a day, that will serve you well. The next strategy number 2, is emotional intelligence. Emotions can hijack us. Emotions can hide who we are. They can keep us small. They can keep us holding ourselves back. And once we understand our own emotions, how we get triggered, what it is that we can do to release emotions and process, get the lessons, then it makes us more intelligent about ourselves. But also, once we can do that for ourselves, then we can do that for others. So understanding what trips other people up and then have the tools to be able to deal with that. Strategy number 3, open communication, being as transparent as you can in your communication, because authenticity is you defining you, okay? Through self-reflection, it's you defining you and making the choice to show up that way each and every day. When you are able to authentically communicate who you are, not just communicate in a way that you think that you should, because you perceive that's the right way. The right way is aligned with who you are. Strategy number 4 is consistency. That means that who you are authentically is how you're showing up, and knowing, okay, caveat here, that as things happen in your life, your authenticity shifts because we have been polished or diverted or shaped in a different way as a result of the things that happen in our professional careers and in our lives. So consistently communicating who you are, so that the person that walks in the door is the same person that walked in the door the day before. None of the, oh my goodness, I wonder what version of her or him is going to show up today. If you have seen The Devil Wears Prada, and I can't remember the other show, The Proposal, with Sandra Bullock, it was, everybody got on the phone and the chat went wild when she came in the door because everybody just had to hunker down, right? I don't want that for you. And then the 5th is leading by example. That means that as a leader or future leader, I would hope that you have the mindset of consistently learning and being that lifelong learner, which means that there are things, new things that you're going to learn and that you're going to share. It's going to be podcasts or videos or articles, the things that help your team. But the thing is, it's not do what I say, it's also do what I do. So leading by example is the 5th and also very critical point. So if you are ready to get more clarity about who you are as a leader, start with reflection. Just 5 minutes a day, because your journey starts with you. Reflect on your core values. Reflect on who you want to be as a leader, how your values tie in with your leadership style. Get clarity on that first. So go ahead, take the first step. You will be happy that you did. Your future self, your team, and your organization will all thank you for it. And if you would like more information about my clarity-driven leadership programming, whether that's keynotes, workshops, or consulting, then head over to my website at debbiepetersonspeaks.com. And until the next time, here is wishing you all the clarity that you deserve. Take care, and bye-bye for now.